I want your hair. I want her style. I want his confidence. That should have been me instead of them. Oh, does that sound familiar? Now, sometimes we put ourselves in situations like this. We want what others have. We wish it was us instead of them. That is something we are going to be talking about in this video. Hey there, I'm Eglah, and this is a safe space for positivity and growth. Let's get into the video. Just by the title, you can already tell what we're talking about, and this is wanting what other people have, wishing what they had was ours instead of them. And sometimes we get these words mixed up. What's jealousy? Wait, what is envy? I used to think that they were the same things until I did my research and I found out that they're quite similar, yes, but they're really different terms. So envy is a negative emotion that occurs when someone wants what another person has. While jealousy is the feeling of being fearful, protective about one's position because we feel threatened that another person might have this. And I'm just going to split it like this. Envy is when I want what you have and I wish it was mine. And there's really a large spectrum when it comes to envy, and we're going to tackle that. While jealousy is, I do feel like you are threatening me. It's probably that I'm good at something and I feel like you're actually just upping the ranks, and I feel like you should, just back up a little. And that's when you do feel that protective. So I actually asked you guys on my Instagram to tell me what is it that you'd like me to cover in this video. I talked about comparison, jealousy, envy, but what I didn't realize is that this is really broad, and so I'm going to actually split this video into two. I'm going to tackle jealousy and envy and actually how to get past this feeling and actually just tell you everything about it. And then for another video, I am going to tell you about comparison. We are going to figure out why is it that we compare ourselves to others and actually how can we tackle this. I figured doing this is going to actually make us cover so much, so I'm really excited. Now, when it comes to envy, there are two ways of actually dealing with this. Now, the first one is the destructive kind, where you try to pull down someone because you feel threatened or you just want what they have. And so if they do not get to fulfill what they have done, it makes you a bit happy because you want to be the one at the top. And then there's the second path, which is finding options that are going to make you feel like what is making you envious, you actually make it less desirable and you stop thinking about it. And I want to take you from path 1 to path 2 so that you don't have a negative feeling around you, especially when this ever comes up. And as a side note, it's okay to feel that feeling. I am not going to just tell you like, oh, you're envious or what, because I've also had those feelings. What happens is that this is something that's so natural, but there are ways that you can deal with this that are not going to be destructive. There's actually a way you can turn around that envy that you're feeling into something that can be really beneficial for you, instead of actually pulling someone down, instead of wishing the worst in other people. And I'm really going to help you with that. So let's continue. So now, I did say that envy is really large, and let's picture it this way. It's like a spectrum. We have it on the high side, on the neutral side. We have something that's benign envy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm actually just going to leave the word over there. Usually I search for terms before I actually pronounce them so that I can pronounce them right. But on the video on perfectionism, we talked about this. If I haven't done it, then I really don't care. So yeah, benign. That's just a side note. Benign envy is the one that's neutral. It is not destructive in any way. And I'll actually term it as this. You say, I wish I had what they had, instead of, I wish they did not have what they have so that I have it instead. You get where I'm going with this, right? You're not destructive of this other person that you envy. You're not saying that I wish it wasn't them and me instead. You're saying that you also wish you had what they had. You wish you were also just like them, and you're not saying anything that's judgmental in a negative way where you're trying to pull them down. And that's actually the beginning of you finding out how you can deal with this. You found out that you feel envious sometimes. Now, how can you deal with this? Before we get into actually how to deal with this, I think we can tackle why you're getting this feeling and also what times are you getting this feeling, so that we can actually just jump over to how to deal with it. So reasons for envy. Number 1, we have social comparison. I see this all the time, especially now with social media. Of course, this is actually just gonna be the main point. Let's start with the social comparison in terms of a setting. It could be you're an actress and you have done so great, you're acting really well, But there's also another actress or actor that's with you and you are applying for a role. You have the same kind of skills, you're actually just up to par, and they get that job instead of you. You can actually start comparing yourself and start thinking, why did they actually choose her and not me? Or you do end up feeling like you're better than them and you so wonder, why did they get that role instead of me? I am the person that's a bigger person over here. Like, it should have been me. That's when it actually starts. And again, when we talk about social comparison, it could be that you're seeing this on social media. Probably there is someone probably even younger than you, or you're the same age, and they're doing far better than you are. That's according to your brain, because you're really doing okay. And you keep seeing this every time, and it makes you have this hostile feeling because you're like, why isn't that me? Why is this person progressing instead of me? Number 2, sense of inferiority. You have that inferiority complex. You feel like everyone else is better than you. You feel like everyone else is above you and you're always down there. This, of course, has a bigger relation to your self-esteem. Once your self-esteem is crushed, it's usually so hard to get back up if you do not practice self-love. And this comes in when you keep feeling like probably you are bullied, and I feel like this also falls in an environmental setting. Sometimes the envy that we have doesn't come from ourselves. It could be that other people made us have these feelings. It could be that when you were in high school, people compared you to other people. You were bullied a lot. It could be that no one really understood you and you've always felt down. You've always felt like no one really listens to you. No one takes you seriously. And you carry this forward throughout your whole life. It's really going to crush you. If you don't take the stand and say that, wait, I don't really care what these people think of me. I don't really care how people rate me, because that's how they're deciding to do their things, but I'm not going to let it affect my life. Once your self-esteem is down, you feel so inferior, and it's so hard for you to always look at your ambitions, to look at your goals like they're actually at the front line. You're always going to see other people as the people who are heading stuff. You're going to see someone who's popular and you're going to be like, oh, yeah, it always has to be them. It can never be me. You're going to see someone win at their job. You're going to see someone win at their career. And you're going to be like, yeah, that can never be me. And the thing with that is you're going to have a sunken personality, and you're never going to get yourself out there. You're never going to feel like you deserve things. And when you're ever rewarded, you're just going to feel like, nah, I actually don't even deserve it. And it brings so many feelings. I keep telling you that so many things that we have in our lives are interconnected. You having self-love, you having self-trust, you being confident, they all intertwine. And without you working on every aspect of your life, it's really going to be hard to break some chains. The final point that I'll give you here is the scarcity mindset. Now, this is one of the worst things. I'll give you an example with this. You have always had the passion for makeup. You do it so well. You've always wanted to become a makeup artist. And so you actually just get on board and you're like, hey, I'm going to start creating content on makeup. You buy everything, you buy the tools, and you're like, I'm really going to start. But then you start thinking, wait, aren't there so many makeup artists out there? Don't I see a lot of content that's about makeup? I really cannot make it in this industry. What was I even thinking? And then you start saying that, I wish it was me that's doing this. I wish it was me. And you start having all these feelings, and it's really easy for that to happen. And the scarcity mindset is when you feel like there's no room for everyone. You feel like only a certain number of people can get that glory, can get that prestige, and it's not possible. The world is really big. If we have countless makeup artists, like we have millions of them, it's really not going to mean that there won't be space for them, because each one of them is unique. I am going to love a particular makeup artist because of how they do it. Probably it's intriguing to me. Probably it's something I've never seen. And again, it could be the same thing, the same steps that they're implementing, but the style that they have really intrigues you. And so that scarcity mindset makes it so hard for you to even move, because you feel like there's no room for everyone, and there is room for everyone to succeed. There is room for me to get into this space. There is room for you to get into this space. So once you actually just get that out of your mind, it's so much easier for you to just stop having these feelings in a negative way. Like I said, it is a spectrum, and so I am going to get you from the level where it's really pulling you down to a level where you actually use this envy for the right stuff. So I'm going to keep saying this again. There's room for everyone, trust me. You want to start that kind of thing that you're thinking about, do it. Now, I said that the scarcity point was the last point, but I'm going to put in the fourth one, which is you are feeling a lack in your life. I'll explain it this way. There are some things that I was mentioning. I said, I wish I had his confidence. I wish I had her charisma. Now, what's actually stopping me from getting that confidence, right? When you see someone who has established themselves, when you see someone who has what you have, the thing that's actually there is that you feel a lack in yourself and you see that which you do crave in them. Just as easy as that, guys. You're seeing it in them, they're actually working on it, but you really don't actually take time to realize it. And you're just thinking, oh, I really wish that that was me. It's probably I saw someone start their blog and I'm like, okay, let me see how it goes. I see in the first month they've gotten a few subscribers. I see in the second, third, and fourth, they're actually blowing up. And I'm like, I really wish that that blog was mine. I wish I actually did it instead of them. And this is because on the inside, I'm burning because I really wish I had started that blog. And me feeling that lack inside me and seeing it in someone else burns me completely. And so trust me, you seeing a lack in yourself is okay because it means that you can work on it. You see someone who started a business and you're starting to get envious about it. Why don't you start your own business so that you stop really focusing on this a lot? Okay, so I'm done with that part. We can get into dealing with these feelings of jealousy and envy. How can you just change this on that spectrum, get from the tough side to actually the least tough, where you're not really wishing bad things on this person that you're envious about? The first one is find inspiration from them. Really, you can. If you're feeling envious about someone who has started their own business and you feel like it's booming, get inspired by what they're doing instead of getting agitated by what they're achieving. And once you're able to actually get inspired by them, you're going to be able to learn a thing or two about how they're conducting their business. You're going to be able to take notes and you're going to be like, oh, so this is how this person does it. That means that I can do it. I always say this. I get inspired by other people who have achieved much than me. Even people who are younger than me, I actually get 2 times inspired. And this is because it means that it's possible. If someone bought my dream car right now and I'm like, oh my, they actually achieved it, so it's possible. If someone who's younger than me was able to grab that opportunity, it means that it's actually also possible for me to do the same. And I should be inspired by it instead of feeling like I'm less of a person, because I'm not. They were able to achieve it and it means that I can as well. If people were not achieving stuff, how would we get motivated really? If you didn't see someone who inspires you, how would you be inspired? You would be low because you're feeling like, oh my, I really cannot make it. So truly, get inspired by that person who you're feeling envious about and turn it around. Number 2, know why it's dangerous. It's a very dangerous feeling once you start thinking of the negatives and you're like, I wish it was not them, but it was me. And this is because you're creating a very negative circle in your life where you're not going to wish others well. And you're always just going to see the negative things about them. You're always just going to want the worst in them. I noticed that I was able to overcome these feelings when I'd see something that would trigger me before and I smile instead of actually feeling like, I'm actually less of a person. They achieved this and I did not. Once I figured out that I was actually smiling at people's achievements, I was actually genuinely happy inside me that these people had achieved their stuff. I actually figured out, wow, so this thing is possible. I can be able to see people bask in their glory and be genuinely happy for them. I am going to be seeing someone who I never met, someone who's probably in another continent, and I'm going to see them win and I'm going to be so elated for them. I am going to see someone from my hometown do so much great things and I'm going to be so happy for them and I'm going to be so proud that I actually know this person. I was able to interact with this person and I'm seeing that they're actually doing great. So you need to turn this around and see that it's dangerous for you because you are always going to have this green energy inside you. And trust me, it's not nice. You are beautiful, you are handsome. I don't want to see you frowning all the time when you see other people achieving stuff. Please just chin up and smile because you are also going to be destined to be as great as them. I love this quote which says, clap for others until it's your turn. Like literally do it. Clap for this other person who's doing better than you, because it's going to get to your turn and you're going to want them to clap for you as well. The third point is self-awareness. You need to call yourself out for all those things you've done inside your head. Let's say like I have been envious about this and that. I have wanted what they have. I need to call myself out and be like, hey, Eglah, chill a bit. What if you're the one who's actually achieving this stuff and people don't want you to get them? People are like, she's not even that cute. She's not even that motivated. She's not even that talented. Why is she getting all that glory? And once you're actually going to get aware of what feelings you've been having or how you've been responding to it, it's going to be so much easier for you to turn this around, because you've already established that, hey, yeah, I get jealous sometimes, I get envious sometimes. And so by me acknowledging that, and by me saying, no, I don't want to become this person anymore. I want to become someone who's happy for others. When they're happy, I should be happy for them. And you calling yourself out is number one. Actually, I should have put it at this first point, but yes. Number 4, what are you doing about this situation where you're actually jealous or you are envious about a person? I did mention this step when I was talking about the causes of envy. And this is where, if you're jealous about someone who's rich, how can you also work on being rich like them? You see? Like I said, you do feel like there's a lack inside you and you're seeing it in someone else. Is there where you can actually turn this around and try to feel this lack that you have? So just think about that for a second, and I think we can do a quiz right now. Okay, I won't call it a quiz, please don't think that I'm boring, but I want us to do a self-reflection right now. I want you to close your eyes. I know I'm not closing mine, but I want you to close yours, because we're going to be doing a really intense exercise. So kindly close your eyes. Perfect. I want you to think of one of the happiest memories that you've had. And I'm going to be giving an example with mine so that you see it. I'm actually creating a scenario, but let's just say that it's mine, okay? So my happy memory right now is that, let's just say that I have been nominated for an award and I'm just so excited about it. And then this actually happens. I feel like I'm going to win, because probably some of my friends are like, we are all going to vote for you. And I see that support and people are actually voting for me. And so I'm actually very excited, because I'm like, oh, this is actually going to happen. I'm getting so much support. I also hope that you already thought of your happy memory, right? Now I want us to crush this happy memory. Picture any kind of scenario in your happy memory that could ruin it. In my scenario, I'm going to say this. We go to the awards and they've tallied all the votes and they're actually going to announce the winner. I have already prepared how I'm going to be saying a speech. I'm like, oh, I've won and stuff like that. And I'm really sure that I'm going to win because of the feedback that I've been getting. Now, when it comes to them calling out the winner, it turns out it's not me. It turns out it's someone I have been competing with for a very long time, someone in the same niche as me. As they call this person out, I'm like, wait, no. This person that has not been creating high quality content as me, they have not been doing it in the style that I do, and I feel like mine is the best one. I feel like I should have deserved this. You see where I'm going with this. Now in your story, I also want you to picture something similar to this. It could be you were supposed to be valedictorian and someone else got that, like probably an hour before graduation. Like, let's just put scenarios that are not even there. I know you can't be saying this an hour before, but you thought that it was going to be you, but it's not. Now in my scenario, I have that natural feeling. It's in my gut. I'm going to be like, wait, no, it should be me. And in such a scenario, I can actually tend to be envious of their success and wish that it was mine. But instead of that, like the point where I say that you're really going to be able to feel this which you lack, I am going to be able to learn from this winner. I am going to be able to congratulate them. You know, winning this is actually a big thing. If it was me, I would have been elated. And then trying to figure out, how can I also learn how they do it? How can I learn to become as good as them? You get where I'm going with this. There's a way you can actually just shift that kind of energy that you have when it comes to envy and just turn it around into something that's positive, into something that can actually build you instead of break you. My final point is, you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. Really, we see this all the time. I might see someone's success and I'm like, okay, they have to be God's favorite, because I have tried so hard and I've not achieved half of what they've achieved. I have not been able to get that kind of success. And you're like, why is it that they get, all the good stuff and I don't? But the thing is, really don't see how hard people work. You only see the results that they show. You only see it when they're at the peak, when they're blooming. You hardly see the struggle that people go through, and you end up having envy for something that doesn't even exist. You might think that someone out there has had it really easy. Of course, there are certain scenarios, and that's life. You need to be able to adapt and figure out that someone else can be living a life that's so much better than you. You need to be able to understand that someone can have lived, having a silver spoon in their mouth. And that doesn't mean that it should be fair. That doesn't mean that you should beat your chest up because they had it easy. You need to be able to get inspiration. You need to be able to just focus on your own energy. And so you probably did see some of the struggles that people went through in order to actually get to where they are right now, and you end up having envious feelings for something that doesn't even exist, for them getting support from others, and they probably worked so hard to get there. So please, you're seeing the tip of the iceberg, especially in this social media era. We're really seeing the tip. We are not seeing the endless, countless hours, the tears that this person cried. And so please don't be envious of something that doesn't exist. And if you're still getting envious on some things that do exist, kindly just turn that around and even get to benign envy, and then slowly turn this to find inspiration from this person that you're being envious about. So, food for thought. Does envy actually help us realize some of the things that we lack? Does it help us understand some of the things that are inside us? I'm probably envious about someone who's doing a particular thing, but turns out I'm actually destined to do that. I'm envious because someone was able to just build their empire. Probably that's because I want to do that too. And it can be a call to action for me to just get up and stop slouching and build that empire that this person has also built, and build something like that, or build something that's actually going to suit me better. And can envy actually help you just get out of that comfort zone and work on yourself? Another thing that I want us to actually think about as I end this video, you don't always have to work on it. If you're envious about a particular thing, I don't need you to actually just get so worked up about it and you're like, okay, we discussed in this video, so it means that if I'm envious that this person is driving a Porsche Cayenne, so it means that I also want a Porsche Cayenne. Probably you don't even want that Porsche Cayenne. Probably you want a Toyota. I don't know much about cars. Just because I like that particular car, but you just want another type, or you want something else. Just that you see that they have it and you wish that they didn't have it. Probably if this person didn't achieve much, you'd be a bit happier. You get it? And that's very toxic. So probably you don't need to act on it and, also buy that car. Probably it means that you can just sit down and work on yourself. And again, I'll keep saying this, it's okay if you have those feelings. You are going to be able to tackle them. You're going to be able to get on this other side, and it's fine. I think we also need to say that some things are just natural. Some things do happen. It doesn't make you less of a person. It doesn't make you bad. We all have these feelings of envy. The thing is that you can feel something, but don't actually act on it and become that thing. The same with anxiety. You can sometimes just have that kind of anxious feeling, but it doesn't mean that you're an anxious person. It doesn't mean that anxiety is you. It's just that feeling. How you choose to act out of that situation is really just going to have a different approach. So you're going to be okay, and I hope this video was really helpful for you guys. In case it was, kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you on the next video, guys. Bye.